Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Well, what's up, party people? Happy Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome back. We get the NBA bit. Apologies for taking the morning off yesterday. Initially was going to push the show back, and then I looked at my schedule, and I had 3 other shows that were already happening, plus a recorded video, and I said, you know what? We're going to relax a little bit. We are going to relax a little bit and get some admin work done. But good to see everybody. Hey, listen, happy International Aaron Borland Day. Happy birthday, Aaron Borland. Go Timberwolves. I'm glad they gave you a W for your birthday, but happy birthday. We got, also happy birthday to Gary Trent Jr. I'm glad to know that they both share that. We also have happy National Winnie the Pooh Day. Thank you, Snoopaloop. We got Sneeps up in here. Garen's here. Weisberg's up early. We got Stan, Boston-based, Chewy, Patrick Coyne's up in here. Good to see everybody. Make sure you do me a favor, like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Although you dorks have. I know you guys are here. We got Ricky Ricardo. We got a Ricardo sighting. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate everybody being here. For yesterday, if you missed any of the shows that we did, we were over on the Swingman Pod on yesterday afternoon to talk about what expectations for So Rare NBA for the second half of the year. It was a good combo with our guy George on our Team Hold So Rare channel. We had 2 things drop yesterday. We had value hunting. I got that out early for this week. Shout out Plum Dog Millionaire. And then Shot Tank came back last night with TST and Jeb were on the show, and we were just shooting the ish around So Rare as well. And then we also had the 89 Cavs yesterday back on this channel. So if you missed the 89 Cavs, we had a lot of fun talking about the trade. We did some midseason awards. What else did we do? The trade, midseason award. Oh, we let Justin have some therapy about Detroit basketball. So it was a good time. Make sure you guys go check that out. And then today, this is it, baby. This is it. We've got today's show, and then we start getting ready into the weekend. Yeah, Roy, we did miss you. We did miss you this weekend. Look at Stan. Look at Stan trying to do some jokes here. Said Nirvana called. They want their jacket back. Honestly, that feels like a compliment, man. That feels like a compliment. Pro Nirvana in this house. It's cold, guys. It's really cold. Yesterday, I think it was like a high of 18, and today's a lot warmer. It's about 22. So it's chilly out there. Okay. And I'm in one of those old homes in New York. So the air gets through, baby. That air gets through. Also, before we get going, Skeet shared a cool thread today, that I wanted to, I'm sure a lot of you guys follow him as well. Let's go see what was said over here today from our boy Skeets. The Skeets train has been going for 18 years now. 18 years since the beginning of the Basketball Jones, which then turned into the Starters, which then turned into what they are today, No Dunks. And I don't think I've been listening for 18 years, but I remember when I was working at MIT at the time when I first found the Basketball Jones. So this had to be like over 10 years ago. So shout out to them. Shout out to No Dunks and for being the best in the biz, So happy 18th birthday. You're an adult now. You're legal. God, that was terrible. Why did we have to say that? That was gross. Well, let's take that back. I wanted to say you're an adult. That's what I was going for. I wanted to be oh, you can vote now. That's what I was going for. Legal's not what I wanted. So scratch that. This is going to be the second time I'm going to have to edit something in the last 24 hours. So tough start to the day, boys. Honestly, Mike looks like a hipster who enjoys Fall Out Boy too much. Yeah, guys, I do like Fall Out Boy. I'm okay with that too. You can't hurt me. You can't hurt me with this. Taking Back Sunday. You guys want to know a fun fact? I used to do improv alongside or with I believe he was the bassist for Taking Back Sunday when I first moved to New York. So there's a shout out. Actually, I don't know if we're shouting them out, but anyways, there we go. Yeah, does No Dunks need to register for the draft now? Maybe. Let's get more 30 Seconds to Mars. No, that is where I draw the line. 30 Seconds to Mars is where I do draw the line. You look like you should be on Ocean's 11. Now we're talking, baby. Now we're talking. Mike said Aaron is legal now. There we go. There we go. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, so I think I might have some All-Star game news coming up. So if you guys are in the Indiana region, might be coming your way next month. We'll see. But stay tuned for that. If you're local, let's grab a brew. If it happens, I should know by the end of the week. So stay tuned for that. Let's dive in though. Let's dive in. Pascal Siakam, Spicy P, heads over to Indiana. He gets traded yesterday after, I think like 48 hours of NBA Twitter losing their mind. I don't know how it happened, but I have a lot of Pacers fans on my timeline. And they were just they were freaking like, is it going to happen? And so I'm sure you guys, everybody did an emergency podcast, but you know what? We're still going to talk about it. So Pascal goes from Toronto to Indiana for 3 first-round picks. 2 of them are this year's, right? So it's the Pacers' first-round pick this year, and then it's the worst first-round pick between the Clippers, the Rockets, OKC, and a 4th team. So it's basically like, I'm assuming, a pick around 18 to 22, and then another pick between like 25 and 30, as well as the 2026 first-round Pacers pick, which I think is like top 3 protected. And then Jordan Nwora and Bruce Brown went to Toronto, and then Kira Lewis was thrown in there from New Orleans. So New Orleans got like a 2nd-round pick from Indiana, I think, because New Orleans was just trying to get under the tax. So that's essentially what the deal was. And there was, everybody reacts so aggressively every time a trade comes where it's like, this is actually the worst thing that's ever happened in the NBA, or like, everybody likes to go fleeced. I don't know. I don't think this is that bad. I'm assuming, and it was reported after that there's been like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge that Pascal is going to re-sign with them this offseason. Because that was like my biggest concern, right? Did you just give up 3 first-round picks for like a 4-month rental? And it sounds like Siakam is going to re-sign. So they basically gave up 3 late first-round picks for an NBA All-Star that they now have like a true second scorer, a second guy behind Tyrese Halliburton, who is their main dude. They were able to keep, which I thought was the most surprising part of all of this. They were able to keep both Benedict Mathurin and Jarvis Walker. They're 2, like Benedict in year 2, Walker, their rookie that they're really excited about. They were able to keep both of them. And I think those are the 2 like enticing pieces that I thought were going to be thrown into this trade. So, and they still have Buddy Hield. Whether they decide to keep Buddy or move Buddy, I think this was kind of a pretty good move by them, while also being a good move by Toronto. So Toronto does get those 3 first-round picks. Again, I would have liked to see another young guy be thrown in there, but they now have Bruce Brown, and there's no way in hell that Bruce Brown is still going to be on the Toronto Raptors come February or late February, whenever the trade deadline is. Bruce Brown is probably going to either the Bing Bong Boys, maybe the Lakers, maybe Heat culture. Like Bruce Brown is getting absolutely moved. So similar to like the Portland Trail Blazers, right? When they trade Dame, they get Drew Holiday back and everybody freaks out, but then they move Drew Holiday, they get some more assets back. So I think we'll have to wait like a few weeks before we can really see what the full bounty was for Spicy P going to Indiana. But I don't know. This seems like it makes sense for both teams. Like Toronto finally hits that reset button where they can build around Scotty and Emmanuel quickly and then kind of see what they have. And RJ Barrett has been like really, really good since coming there. But now they can like focus now because they've been in this, will he, won't he for a long time. I mean, for like a couple of years now, right? And so I think this is a pretty solid deal, I think, for everybody involved. Now, I think what we'll have to decide maybe this time next year, not this time next year, but after the contract is signed for Siakam, right? Like they're going to have to pay him max money. Like Indiana is going to have to pay him max money. And I don't know, like when you look at the potential guys that you could play max money, where does Siakam fall in that list? Is he top 10? Is he top 20? Is he top 30? And so it's like, how is that contract going to age 5-6 years from now? I mean, the counter to that is like Indiana's like, okay, well, who else are we going to get? Right? It's not like people are banging down the door trying to be like, I would like to sign a 5-year deal with the city of Indianapolis, right? That just doesn't happen. So I don't know. I feel like that kind of, I think that kind of makes sense. I think that kind of makes sense there. And I like the deals for both teams. And I'm curious to see what will happen in a few years. Is Spicy P worth Aaron Gordon money? Why are we Yeah. I mean, he's going to get more money than Aaron Gordon. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Weisberg saying Indy's never signed a premium free agent, so it does make sense. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I get when you see like, oh my God, 3 first-round picks, and everybody's like, how dare you? That's so dumb. I mean, it's like pick 25. So it's 3 Jake LaRavias. Like, you know what I mean? It's late first-round picks. No, Borland. Yeah. Okay. All right. Borland also wink, wink said slightly different. I know. Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, the Rudy trade year 2 versus year 1 looks a lot different now that Rudy is playing some good basketball, which we'll talk about soon. Rudy was a monster again last night against Detroit as they pick up another win. I also picked him as my defensive player of the year so far. So there you go. So I don't know. I think that's kind of it on the trade deadline. I'm glad that the Siakam move happened. I'm glad that we can like move forward. I think he's going to be the best and biggest name that gets moved this trade deadline. I will see some more like peripheral moves where, competing teams are going to try to get a 6th or 7th guy. Like I still think Jordan Clarkson or Kelly Olynyk or somebody like that could get moved. Yeah, shots fired on Jake LaRavia. I know. I mean, I know there are gems, right? Like, Desmond Bane. Like you can get Desmond Bane, but I think that's more the exception than the rule. Where usually these late first round guys aren't superstars. So I don't know. Roy in the chat saying it's a good trade but in my opinion, a scale of 1 to 10 regarding how much better the Pacers are now. I think it's 5 to 6. Yeah, I mean, listen, Halliburton seems to make everyone he plays with their best offensive version, and if you bring in someone who can get you 25 a game already, I'm curious to see how it's going to work, and if Siakam really can elevate Spicy P. I mean, I think when we were looking at the Pacers, we were like, oh, this is like a good story. They're in that 6 to 8 range in the East, right? And then kind of like Orlando, I was like, oh, I'm sure they'll like simmer down a little bit. I think this type of move firmly puts them in the New York, Cleveland, Orlando. I'm going to put Miami a tier of New York and Cleveland, okay? But the New York, Cleveland, Orlando tier. Like, I think they are firmly there. And there you go. There you go. Hold on. Yeah, I'll talk about the Celtics when I get there. Weisberg saying feels like the air has gone out of the deadline. Not sure who else big gets dealt. And fun fact, Spicy P scores more points in transition than any player in the league. Yeah, but Siakam isn't coming for his offense. They need more stoppers next to Turner. Yeah, I mean, they play an offensive style basketball. It is hard to score 130 points a game and also play really good defense. So I don't think they're really worried about that right now. I do. I think this makes Indiana a lot better. But and we also have to say this too. I don't know if people are like, you should only make a trade if this immediately makes you an NBA champion. There was no trade that any team outside of like the top 4 in the East and West, or top 4 in the league, that all of a sudden makes them an NBA champ. Like, yeah, sure. If they went and got Anthony Davis, yeah, that would have been a better trade, but they would have had to give up more. It just wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So I do think this firmly makes them a better team. But yeah, all right. I think that's it for the Siakam trade. We'll see. I guess moving forward, like Bruce Brown's definitely going to get moved. Utah, I still think is going to make some sort of move. Miami's absolutely going to be looking for another piece. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, let's one more thing about yesterday's action. One funny thing that happened, funny, I don't know. Portland is in the midst of a deep freeze right now. Portland, Oregon, not Maine. Maine's always in a deep freeze. DeAndre Ayton could not play back. So Ayton has missed like the last week or two, maybe more than that, with some injury stuff, and he was back in action, cleared to play, ruled in. And then he could not leave his house to get to the game, which I do think was like a real thing. I don't think it was like DeAndre Ayton, Dama skating. Like, I don't think it was one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't want to play. It seems like it was pretty dangerous because Portland is a city that's not built for this. They're built different and they're built soft, but they don't have the infrastructure to like clear the roads or salt them. I don't know. And he couldn't play last night. And that is going to be one of the funniest DNPs I've seen in a while. Did not play weather conditions, which was pretty fun. Ayton should have been skating on that ice. I know. Send out the snowmobiles. The trick is warming your car up first. There we go. So anyways, I thought that was pretty fun. How is he the only one? I don't know. Maybe he lives on a steep hill. Maybe he lives on a steep hill. All right, let's dive into some of the funny stuff here of last night's NBA action, baby. Let's get into it. So we had a bunch of games last night. There were some fun ones, some not so fun ones. I was excited to watch Lakers Mavs, and that one ended up being a blowout. But for the sake of it, let's do the Luka drop. Let's do it since we're starting with that game. Where is it? Luka Magic. I wonder, Boston Base, how many times? Let's see how many times we can get this comment in here. Did we do it another time too? We're going to do the Celtics second because it's in the order of which I wrote it down. So the Lakers run away with this one in the second half. I think it was like a 5-point game at halftime or 8-point game at halftime, something like that. And then in the second half, it was just too much AD, too much LeBron, and the Lakers win 127-110. Kyrie was pretty bad. 12, 6, and 5. Luka, though, with a 30-point triple-double, he had 33, 13, and 10. And then Anthony Davis, again, almost a triple-double from him, 28 points, 12 boards. He had 9 dimes. LeBron had 25, 8, and 8. And then another good D-Lo game, 29 and 4. So there you go. As the Lakers were in meltdown mode recently, all of a sudden they rip off 2 W's in a row against the Thunder and then the Dallas Mavericks. They're in much better shape. I think everybody can relax a little bit. Darvin Ham probably not finding his way out the door. I do still think like D'Lo is not going to be on the Lakers in a couple of weeks. He will absolutely get moved. I don't know who it'll be for, but that was like part of his whole signing was basically that he was going to get traded. Like that's why that contract is the way it is. So he gone. But good win for the Lakers still. Luka continues to put up monster numbers. And Anthony Davis, too. I know I said this yesterday, but the dude would be in the MVP conversation if the Lakers weren't ass. So maybe they make a run. He'll be in there. I want to look what his full numbers are right now. So what did I say? 28, 10, and 9, or 28, 12, and 9 last night. Let's see where he's at for the season right now. He's averaging 25 points, over 12 boards, almost 4 assists on 55% from the field, 81% from the line. Just like solid stuff. And that doesn't even include what he's been doing blocks and steals wise. So it's been pretty good. Steve said Wemby winning rookie of the year if he averages over 27 minutes a game. There we go. Here's some stats for you. Brogdon had the lowest minutes per game of any rookie of the year, 26.4 minutes a game. Yeah, man. Let's just pivot to that right now. So Wemby only played 26 minutes last night, which is like more than he normally does. So Celtics win 117-98. No Derek White. There was some pretty funny comments from Pop before the game. They knew that Derek White was ruled out, and Pop was like, "Yeah, he was scared of us. Basically, we were ready to make his life a nightmare tonight, or something like that." It was a pretty funny tongue-in-cheek comment from Pop. But no White, no Porzingis. Celtics still smoked them. This game was over pretty early. But Wemby did finish with 27 and 5 in limited minutes. Devin Vassell gave him 21. And then Tatum, Holiday, and JB all scored over 20 points last night. Tatum 24, 5, and 2. Holiday 22, 4, and 4. And then Brown 21, 7, and 5. Celtics now 20 and 0 at home, baby. They just continue to rip off W's at home. Their next one, I believe, is against the Nuggets. I think we talked about that at the end of last week, or maybe that was this week. I don't know. But I think that it's like Denver's coming up next here. Denver at home on the 19th. And then, so that would be 21. If they get through Denver, though, and then it's Clippers, Pels, Pacers, Lakers, Grizzlies, Atlanta, Washington, all at home. So the next few are going to be kind of fun. Drew splashed some threes last night. That was good. Did either of you guys, Sneeps or Boston Base, did you guys go to the game last night? I know Wemby in the Garden, so people were probably excited to get there. But yeah, that was a good win for the Celtics. The rookie of the year thing is interesting because I agree. If he played more minutes, I think he would win this thing. And I know Chet was my pick, and I bet on Chet, so I really want Chet to win. Wemby's numbers are just better than Chet's, though. We were doing the 89 Cavs last night, and I think just to be different, because I'd already said Rudy for Defensive Player of the Year, they were mentioning Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year. And so and I know Chet's an incredible defender, too. Like, Chet is going to win Defensive Player of the Year at some point. But Yeah, I don't really know. It's that argument of like, well, if Wemby was on the Thunder, think about what the Thunder would be doing too. Like, so, so I don't really know how the voters will decide on that. I think Chet probably is still a slight favorite, but Wemby's numbers are crazy considering he's averaging like under 26 minutes a game. Let me see what his actual numbers are. So this season, he's played 35 games. Let me look at his full year here. Hold on one second. One moment, please. I wasn't planning on pulling this up here. So he's averaging he's played 35 games. He's averaging, why is it not telling me the minutes that he's playing? In limited minutes, that's what we'll say. In limited minutes, he's averaging, Jesus, what am I looking? Oh, these are totals. Sorry. Per 36 are nuts. His per 36 are 25 points, 12 boards. Almost 4 steals, and then he's averaging almost 4 blocks per 36 and almost 2 steals per 36, which is just nutso. But yeah, Wemby, baby. But yeah, I think it's still going to be Chet. All right, let's keep moving. Wolves beat the Pistons. Happy birthday, Borland. 124-117. Pistons kept it close though, which was fun for fantasy because everybody's stats popped a little bit. So Ant-Man had 27, 8, and 5 in this one. Rudy with another big rebound double-double. He had 19 points and 16 boards. The Catman had 27, 6, and 4. And then Monty Williams, who would have known? By playing Jaden Ivey, you get a better offense. And that's what happened. Jaden Ivey's been on a tear the last 4 or 5 games. He was cutting him up a little bit at 32, 6, and 4. Boyan had 20 and 5. And then Jalen Duren, again, another solid performance from him. He had 16 points and 11 boards. Good win for Minnesota as they continued to beat the teams they're supposed to. Good loss for Detroit. They keep losing the games that they're supposed to. So shout out the Pistons, baby. But yeah, Minnesota, good win. Good win for the Bros. Hawks was a fun one. 106-104 down the stretch here. So this was a close game. And Trae Young had a really bad game. I think he finished, what was the final? His final line was 18 points, 12 dimes, but he had 8 turnovers in this one. But Magic down 3 with under 30 seconds left. Looks like kind of a broken play. Paolo gets it at the angle and then knocks down a 3 to tie it up with 8 seconds left. Hawks get the ball into DeJounte, and you can see this moment where Trae's in the backcourt, just kind of yeah, let's go. And DeJounte looks him off, dribbles up, knocks down a game winner. Good win for Atlanta. They needed it. They needed some vibes over there. Poor Quinn Snyder, they needed some vibes. They got one. And maybe it was just DeJounte showcasing, hey, I can be that guy for the next team, which then puts Stan. I want to go back to Stan's comment. He was talking about guys that could get moved before the trade deadline. And he was saying DeJounte, Scary Terry, Brogdon, Levine, Lowry, Grimes, D'Angelo, Wiggins, and PJ Washington. And because we said PJ Washington, come on.
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
One quick note here on Quentin Grimes, too. It's reported this morning that according to Knicks sources, Grimes is probably going to get moved because he's really unhappy with his role. And according to the sources, unnamed sources, anonymous sources, that Tibbs is still mad at Grimes for missing 2 games last year in the playoffs with the shoulder injury, which I just love a Tibbs grudge, Grimes grudge. So yeah, I'm sure Quentin Grimes gets moved. Brogdon too is kind of a no-brainer. I feel like he's definitely getting moved as well. The Terry and DeJounte, I am really curious where they land. I think they could really help a team, but. Anyways, yeah, that was a fun Knicks report. Love some Knicks drama. But yeah, good win for the ATL. A-Town down. So Giannis was not on the injury report the entire day, which I only bring that up because if you were in the underdog streets, Giannis was the clear number 1 pick in all drafts because Luka was questionable and no one trusts AD. And then at 6 o'clock or 5:30, they were like, BT Dubs, Giannis is out tonight with a shoulder injury. And then so you're like, okay, well, it's Dame time, baby. Cavs win 135-95. And this was just I checked in at the score during the 89 Cavs show, and it was 20-2 to start the game. And I mean, they just sucked. Dame had 17, Portis was 16, but they played limited minutes because this game was over immediately. Donovan Mitchell finished with 31, 7, and 5, and then Jared Allen with 21 and 13. But just kind of a wild night. I don't think you need to look into it too much, without Giannis last minute. But again, listen, Cleveland, though, is still on this tear, and I'm fascinated to see what Cleveland does with, because Garland should be back soon. Mobley should be back soon. But yeah, Boston Bay saying only 15 accounts won fast break last night. I'm so fascinated to know, like, when they're creating this, because for those that the initial announcement of the fast break contest was 25 threes made by 5 different players, right? And there's literally no one in the NBA right now averaging 5 threes a game. And they were like, not only that, you need to find 5 of these guys. And then the Warriors game got canceled for very sad reasons, which I'm sure everybody saw. But Dayon, who the assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors, when they were on the road in Utah, suffered a heart attack at like a team dinner and passed away. And so they canceled the game. It was very sad. So when that happened, the Top Shot crew was like, hey, let's change it to 23s again. I'm like, I mean, that's just like a quick Google search will tell you that maybe that's too many threes. I just don't understand. I don't understand. And so when people are like, oh, hey, why haven't you made any content around it? I'm like, well, how do you make content around that? Anyways, News and Drop Alert says, what is the biggest move you expect from a team in the East to compete with the Celtics, because Siakam ain't it? Yeah, again, I mean, I said this at the top. Like, I don't even think that the Pacers were like, oh, if we get Siakam, we're going to win an NBA championship. I don't think that was the move. I think it's almost impossible for Indiana to sign free agents during free agency. So this is how you do it. I think if Miami gets somebody like Bruce Brown, that is a pretty big difference maker. Or DeJounte Murray for that matter. I think Bruce Brown's actually probably a better fit for Miami than DeJounte or Scary Terry. But I think if Miami gets another playmaking guard, that is I think they become a legit threat. I do. I think the Sixers could probably use a little bit of depth too, and they have some space to make some moves. Although I don't know what the Sixers do, because the Sixers have cleared out so much cap space for this offseason, and I don't even know who is going to be available. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. In the East, I mean, I think Milwaukee doesn't have a lot of wiggle room to make a big move. I really think it's Miami. I think Miami has and the Knicks, honestly. The Knicks are in a pretty good spot right now, and they could they could still get somebody like a Jordan Clarkson, or, I don't know if Terry or DeJounte makes sense there, but they could get somebody like that. I think that would make them pretty competitive, but I still think it's going to be Celtics 1. Miami would be the team that I'd be most, I'm curious what they're going to do at the deadline. So we'll see. But yeah, that's hashtag e-culture. Hashtag e-culture. All right, let's keep it going. Speaking of the Knicks, bing bong. 109-104. They beat the Houston Rockets. Jalen Brunson made his return. Good to see that. I'll be curious if he plays tonight on a back-to-back. Freddie Van Fleets had 24 points and 12 dimes in honor of Siakam getting traded. Şengün. OG Anunoby actually locked down Şengün quite a bit. But Şengün still finished with 18, 10, and 5. And then our boys.
Regular season
Randall was great last night. He dropped, what was it? Where's the line? 31, 8, and 4, and then Brunson at 30 and 7. New York professional basketball team just still collecting W's. Still collecting them. Yeah, Miami Rozier rumors are out there, that's for sure. And then came back to the Celtics have a starting all-star team. I mean, I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. But I think with Miami continuing to, like, I know they got smoked last night by We the North, but Miami's still up there, and they haven't had Jimmy Butler like the entire season. So New York still needs to add a star, someone like Donovan. Well, it'd be cool if the Knicks did get Donovan Mitchell. Then what they could do is score a lot of points in a playoff series and then ultimately lose, right? Because that is the Donovan Mitchell way. The Donovan Mitchell to New York for like this season doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to start Donovan and Jalen Brunson together? It's just, you need somebody to do that. Durant to the Heat. All right, what are we doing? What are you doing? Some nose candy this morning? What, Durant to the Heat? What are we talking about here? All right. Speaking of Heat culture, they lost by 20 something last night. 120. Oh, more than that. Excuse me. Oh, no, that's right. 24. Raps win 121-97. This game got out of hand early. And then Miami stormed back a little bit. No one played well for Miami. They had 3 dudes with 16 points, their top 3, and that was about it. Nobody did anything. For Toronto, you got Gary Trent Jr. Shout out, happy birthday to Gary Trent Jr. and Aaron Borland. In honor of his upcoming birthday, dropped 28 points in the starting lineup with no Spicy P. Scotty Barnes had 28 and 5. And then RJ again, man. RJ's been playing really well. Outside of that one game against Utah since joining Toronto, where he dropped 4 points, he had 26 and 8 last night. And then IQ was closing in on a triple double with 17, 9, and 8. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Love to see it. Good win for Toronto. They've been playing pretty good basketball since the trade. They're at least fun to watch. All right, we got 2 games left, baby. The Pellies beat the Hornets 132-112. LaMelo, dude, I'm kind of fantasy-wise anyways. So, like, LaMelo has been on a minutes restriction since coming back. I think this was his 3rd game back, and he's played 29 minutes twice and then 31 minutes last night. But he's been pretty effective in those minutes. And I mean, that team sucks, so he's going to be doing a lot. But he had 29, 7, and 5 in 31 minutes. I think that's something to monitor as his minutes get unleashed a little bit. I think he'll be cooking, right? Scary Terry, speaking of Rozier, at 25 and 4. But the play of the night, baby, was Brandon Ingram, who triple-double from BI, 28, 10, and 10. Zion, too, did a little playmaking last night. Only had 13 points, but 9 dimes. And then CJ had 22, 6, and 5. I also wanted to shout out Jordan Hawkins, right? So in that game against Dallas last weekend, right, they played him twice, right? In the first game, Zion, Ingram, and CJ all sat. So Jordan Hawkins played a ton. I think he scored like 35 or 38 points or something like that. Then they all came back and they lost the next game, but Hawkins played well in like limited minutes. And then last night, Hawkins' minutes actually increased quite a bit, and he had 21 and 6 off the bench. But what I thought was most surprising about this is he surpassed Dyson Daniels and Jose Alvarado in minutes. So Hawkins is playing like so good for Willie Green and the Pelicans that he's got no choice but to play him. That's like a sneaky draft pick by the Pels. So I don't know whether it's your fast break or you're so rare, you're betting overs or whatever you're doing. Jordan Hawkins is probably a name to pay attention to. I also think the Pels have just so many dudes that they could make a move this deadline too. They still have picks too. I feel like they could consolidate their roster a little bit because, right, they have, you know, the big 4, if you will, of Jonas, Ingram, CJ, and Zion. And then you've got Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, who are both great, but kind of do similar things. I guess Herb's a little bit of a better defender. Trey's a little bit of a better shooter. And then you've got Dyson Daniels, Jordan Hawkins, Jose Alvarado, you got Larry Nance. They've just got so many guys who are professional basketball players. So we like it. Josh says I picked up his red 5 Bowman auto weeks ago. There you go. You dude, head of the curve, Josh. Head of the curve. Although we are talking about financial stuff, so it is important to remind people that it is not. None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do. Something like that, right? There you go. All right, last game of the night, the Portland Trail Blazers get themselves a W. So last night, we already made fun of DeAndre Ayton, but he should be back for the next game, depending on weather. Jeremy Grant returned, though. Brogdon returned, and that made a big difference. Jeremy Grant had 30 and 8. And then Simons had 24 and 4. Scoot went back to the bench, though, with the return of Brogdon and Grant, and was not great off the bench. But Scoot has been playing better, so hopefully that continues. For the Nets, it was kind of boring. Bridges had 21, 4 and 4. Nick Claxton had 12 and 12, and then Spencer Dinwiddie with 19 and 7. Yeah, I don't know. Good win for Portland. Another dumb loss for Brooklyn. Like, I just don't know what that team is doing. I mean, I guess we should talk, like, all those wings are probably available. Everybody outside of Bridges could get traded, I think. You definitely got to move one of, like, Royce O'Neal or Dorian Finney-Smith. And there's another guy. Dorian Finney-Smith probably a little bit more value, I would imagine, than Royce O'Neal. But I don't know. Cam Johnson. They got to move somebody. They got too many dudes. And then maybe free Cam Thomas while we're at it. All right, let's go take a look at let's see what we got for a schedule tonight and maybe the standings as well. Let's see what we got. I know we look at the standings a lot, but I just enjoy seeing what people are doing in like their last 10, So we got the Celtics here still 20-0 at home. Look at that. A 4-game lead now on the Bucks, with the Bucks losing their game 32-9. As our friend Boston Base pointed out, they are on pace to win over 60 games right now, which is kind of spunky. The Bucks here, after 5-5 in their last 10, two wins on the Sixers, but same L's in the loss column. Sixers now 26-13, but the Cavs, baby, 8-2 in their last 10, winners of 6 in a row. Now 9 games over 500. Clear in the 4 seed, have a full game lead over the Knicks and the Heat, who are both 24-17, and then the Spicy P Pacers, 23-17, and then the Magic now in the 8 seed, and then a clear drop off to the Chicago Bulls, and now the ATL, A-Town down, moving back into the 10 seed. I kind of wonder if the Raptors make a little run at this 10 seed, or if they are just like, no, let's stay in the lottery here. But I imagine this is your top 10 with maybe the Raptors sneaking in. I think the Nets are toast. And then in the West, so you get the Timberwolves now back on a 3-game winning streak after a little bit of a slump. They're now 29-11 with a 2-game lead over both the Thunder and the Nuggets. The Clippers a game behind those bros. And then the Pellies there in the 5 seed, like the Beam Kings in the 6 seed. And then you got Mavs and Suns. Suns, who we've made fun of, have won 3 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. So even though they're a little funky right now, they're hanging around. And then the Jazz, baby, 9-1 in their last 10, winners of 6 in a row. And then the Lakers clinging on to that 10 seed. The Rockets have fallen out of the top 10. Warriors behind them, Grizz Gang, Blazers, and Spurs, baby, and Spurs. And then let's see, what do we got for the upcoming schedule for tonight? So tonight we have, Washington comes to MSG. Chicago and Toronto on TNT. I bet they're pumped that they got that game on TNT. And then OKC and Utah. And then, man, can't we flex this? So Memphis and Minnesota. No, I mean, no disrespect to Minnesota, Borland. I know it's your birthday. I'm glad they're on there, but I don't want to watch the Grizzlies. Give me Pacers and Sacramento, right? You got Sabonis and Halliburton revenge. That is kind of one fun thing about that too. Halliburton is questionable for tonight, so we might get Hallie back tonight, which would be a lot of fun. Colin in the chat, what's up? Colin says Raps owe the Spurs a first this year, so I'd imagine they try to make the plan. Isn't that? Yeah, and I think it's top 10 protected, right? Isn't it top 10 protected? I thought, or maybe it's top 3 protected. I can't remember. There we go. Stan's like Celtics least intimidating 1 seed in a while. No playoff jokers. Okay. All right, Stan. Oh, it's top 6 protected. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe they make a little run at the play-in. I mean, I don't think, especially with Darko as their coach, like I in his first year, I can't imagine they just do it. Wait, why is Buddy going to get booed? Did Buddy ever talk shit about Sacramento? Also, does Sacramento have booing in him? I just don't know. Are you a boot town? All right, let's take a quick little ad read here. We'll build an underdog pick 'em when we get back. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy Sports. Whether you're drafting Luka first overall in best ball or fading Wemby blocks in the pick'ems, Underdog is where you'll find Team Hold. Sign up today at UnderdogFantasy.com or just click the link in the description to get started. And by signing up using promo code HOLD, HOLD, you will get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. That's a free honey. So sign up today using promo code HOLD, HOLD, and get started at UnderdogFantasy.com. Imagine Josh. I hope there's no Josh Giddey chance in Boston. Usually not the best at creating chance from the stands. The Giddey stuff too, by the way, they announced that all charges were dropped, but they definitely gave like a little wink in that. They're like, Josh, not charges were dropped, but the investigation's been closed. Excuse me. Investigation's been closed. But then they also were like, because they could not get any corroborating evidence. So there we go. Okay, yeah, Buddy is going to get booed based on these comments here. Yeah, Buddy's going to get booed. Love it, baby. Love it. All right, let's go pop over to Underdog. Let's see if we can build a pick 'em tonight. We had a nice little hit last night. We actually did pretty good. We were really close. If we go to, let's do this. Let's go look at the results here from last night's action. So we had on Hump Day Hoops, baby. This was our best lineup that finished 22nd. This was tough. Because we had a little run at it late here. So you got 71 from Luka, Paolo with 44. That overtime would have been pretty clutch with Paolo. Şengün with 49. Brunson, even though he had 30 points, didn't do much else after that. And then Claxton, we needed Claxton to keep going. But it was a solid performance. But let's shout out John Boy Beats here, who finished tied for third last night. He had a Luka LeBron lineup because people weren't drafting Luka. They were nervous he was going to not play. And then Randall, Jaylen Brown, Freddie Van Fleet, and then that Brandon Ingram, baby. That Brandon Ingram. All right, back to the pick'ems. Let's see what we can find here tonight. Let's go. Kings ruined Jimmer. Shout out Jimmer for debt. Didn't think we were going to talk Jimmer today. All right, let's see. So Toronto, Chicago. This one is on TNT, right? This was the early TNT game. So let's do a little something with this. I feel like Scotty has, if this was a 2x double-double, I would do it. I like the over on points, rebounds, and assists from both Scotty. And let's look. They don't have Emmanuel Quickly listed? Seriously? Oh, is it because they don't know? No, they do. Okay. I want the points, rebounds, and assists for Emmanuel Quickly too. So 32.5 PRA from Barnes, 30.5 PRA from Quickly. I kind of like both of these here. And then let's see, RJ too. RJ on rebounds has been kind of fun. I know we don't need to make this like too big here, but let's see what Barrett's like 2.5 double sounds like fun. 31.5 points, rebounds, assists, 7 rebounds. I don't know. What do you guys think about RJ here? Maybe 10 rebounds and assists. I don't know. Maybe we just leave it with this first. Let's look at the Bulls here. So I feel like Vooch should eat tonight, right? Vooch should eat against this front. So 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists feels pretty solid. I kind of like that one. I kind of like Vooch's 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Weisberg says, do the double-double for who? For RJ? I don't know, man. So this right here is 6X, just these three. Vooch, 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I do like targeting bigs against Toronto. And then Scotty and Emmanuel Quickly. I don't know. I do like RJ's just been playing really well lately. And I think with no Siakam, he gets a little bit bigger. I don't know. All right, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking in the NBA streets. Maybe there's something that screams out to us in another game here. I don't really trust anything else with the Bulls. There's just too many guys over here. All right, so Kuzma with 21.5 points here against the Knicks. I don't really know with the Knicks here. What about Rudy and Cat versus Memphis? Let's see what Rudy's boards are in honor of Borland's birthday. My only concern is the back-to-back makes me a little bit nervous. 12.5 rebounds. Bang. That's it. 12.5 rebounds. That's an easy one. I know I don't like to go box score hunting here for stuff like this, but this is a pretty good matchup rebound-wise, right? It's Tillman and Jaren Jackson Jr., who does not rebound. Rudy's last 5 games, he's had 16 boards, 18 boards, 17 boards, 12 boards, and 17 boards. So I think this is I love that, actually. 12.5 boards. Good shout. All right, let's look for one more. Let's see. We don't have to do one more, but let's see if we can find one more here. Maybe, what about Sabonis against Turner tonight? Revenge for them. 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. 1.25. Oh, man, the triple-double only 1.25x. You can't do that. But I kind of like 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm imagining, what Turner's not going to do it, right? I mean, Sabonis should eat. He's been on a little bit of a heater right now. And I imagine this is like especially if Halliburton plays, this is going to be a fast-paced, high-scoring game. 2 teams that don't play a ton of defense. I think we're going to do it. 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists. 20x, baby. 10 to win 200. What do we say? 10 to win 200 on this. So for the podcast listeners, so 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists, we're going higher. 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Quickly, we're going higher. Can you take me higher? 33.5 points, rebounds, assists for Vucci Main, higher. 12.5 boards over for Rudy. And then 44.5 points, rebounds, and assists with Sabone. Let's do it. 10 to win 200. Let's 20x this. We're due for a hit, baby. I'm going to share this in the chat in case anybody wants to follow along. There we go. Let's do it. Let's hit a morning market. All right, I'm gonna go over to So Rare just for a hot sec to see if we hit anything spicy over there. I think my lineups are actually pretty dead this game week, so which is too bad. Let's see. Yeah, we're not 44 points away in the limited underdog. Let's see. Limited contender. All right, well, 12 points away with the limited contender. We got Rudy again tonight, who dropped 46. IQ with one more game. Thad with one more game. But I think the real improvement I'm looking for is TJ and Nemhard, which actually those lineups are kind of dead if Halliburton is back. So that's probably toast. This is 7 points away here from limited champ reward after I got 65-60 from Kyrie and Bridges. Porzingis didn't play that second game, so that killed it. And then Hart and Sexton, whatever. My rare contenders 2 points away from the closest rewards. We still got another Thad game, another TJ game, and another Quickly game. But I actually don't think we're getting anything. And this one's final, so we're not getting one. I'll do a quick build though for the for this coming game week here, just like quickly here. Emmanuel Quickly, am I right? Rare contender. We'll get started here. Let's get it started. Quickly only has one game. Beal with 2 games is probably going to be a play. Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole. This is going to be tough. Jovic with 2 games is probably going to be a play here. Killian Hayes is probably still going to project well. I think Thad and Killian are still going to project well here. So we're going to have to start with them. That does leave me with 29 the rest of the way. Burks has been pretty solid. I wonder, so we could go pretty balanced here. I bet we could go Quickly, Beal, and Quickly, Beal, and Burks we could do. That's actually pretty solid. Quickly, Beal, Burks, Hayes. I don't hate that. Make sure I'm not missing anything else way down here. Kings don't have a game this weekend. Interesting. All right. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. The other thing we could do is actually just go build rare champ and see what that looks like. We can start with Kyrie. I just don't have a good rare champ, but if we start with Kyrie and Frederick, maybe we get Jalen, not Andre Drummond, excuse me, Jalen Dern in this one. That leaves us with 22 the rest of the way. Maybe Hardy's probably off the table at this point. We could play Killian Hayes here. That leaves us with 31, and then you could go Bradley. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we focus on Chant this week. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, that's So Rare. Reminder: we dropped value hunting yesterday over on Team Hold So Rare, as well as Shot Tank. And then on Friday, live before lock, we'll be back. We're very close to monetizing over there, so go, on all of our channels. Just put playlists on loop, baby. Get that runtime up. Get the runtime up so we can make some sweet, sweet cash. But yeah, I think that's it. You guys have anything else for me today? Anything else we didn't get into that we need to? Any weekend plans? Actually, you know what? We our softball team that obviously is not playing right now, but we play usually the summer league is April to August, and then we do fall ball September to end of October. But every January we do an end of the year hang. And we do like a little party. We give out some fake awards and shit like that. So that is on Saturday night, I think. And then what else I got? I don't know. I think that might be it. Oh man, I'm fighting off a sneeze right now. Oh yeah, we get the mute button. We did it. But yeah, so we'll have something. Well, I'll have that on Saturday. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else. Kelsey started her new job this week, and she's been working some pretty crazy hours. So I'm imagining she'll want some downtime. So and we'll watch football, Weisberg said missed last night's playback, but Sneeps carried the torch for us, Sneeps. But we're going hard Friday for Nuggets Celtics. Got some big giveaways for that one. Hell yeah. And then any plans for Team Hold's 3rd birthday? Not yet. What's that? Is that the first week in February? I always forget when that is. Right? Is that February 6th, February 8th, something like that? No, I'm trying to figure out All-Star Game weekend right now. That is the priority for the next week or so. But yeah, we'll have some fun guests come on. We'll do something. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll simulcast on all 3 of our channels just to get those watch hours up. But yeah, we'll do something for the third birthday. I'm trying to think. Do I have anything else coming up? I don't know. I think that's it. But everybody should go watch No Dunks here at 10 to wish him a happy 18th birthday. It's very exciting. Oh, it is February 6th. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have something. We'll have something February 6th. We'll do Maybe we'll do a full day stream. No, we won't do that. Not a full day, but we'll try to. I'll put some together. I will. I always do. All right, everybody, stay warm if you're in a cold area. Stay hot if you're in a hot area. You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. We are out.